It's easy. Take out the steam. I didn't shoot the president.
Can I see some ID, please?
I don't think you understand. These boys killed my dog.
Force Recon Sniper Bob Lee Swagger and his spotter Corporal Donnie Fenn are on an Overwatch assignment in Ethiopia, supplying cover for a squad of troops returning from an operation. They have charted and surveyed the entire surrounding region, yet Donnie cannot shake the feeling that something is off.
Secondary down the road, tertiary the river. You sure this is a peacekeeping mission?
At an Army installation, a CIA support unit provides aerial reconnaissance for the mission.
Grass?
Friendly forces moving towards extraction point.
Donnie spots a hostile approaching the convoy.
Wind 3/4 value, push to left.
The convoy moves through safely and Swagger prepares to declare it a successful op, but suddenly notices a large hostile convoy advancing on them with no warning from the CIA.
Packing up.
Shit.
Be advised.
3 mil lead. Pistols that close.
Swagger radios the assault to the CIA crew, but their chief opts to abandon them since they were never authorized to be there.
Lamppost, do you read me?
Shut it down.
Shit! The channel's down! Left us here. Don't worry, we're getting home.
Swagger vows to bring them home and attempts to shoot down the helicopter. But it unleashes gunfire that kills Donnie. Three years later, Swagger now lives secluded in the frigid Wyoming mountains with his dog. In Langley, Swagger's file reaches U.S. Army Colonel Isaac Johnson, who reviews his record and the botched mission and chooses to visit him. Swagger's dog signals approaching visitors, and he meets Johnson and 2 associates, telling them to leave.
We have some business needs your attention.
It's a slow draw you got there.
I don't carry a gun.
Johnson displays his Medal of Honor, noting Swagger's father earned one too, and asks for 5 minutes. In private, Johnson reveals he wants Swagger to design the president's assassination. They need his strategy to prevent a plot against the president during a speech intercepted through internal chatter. Details indicate the shooter will fire from over a mile away, and Johnson doubts such a shot is possible. Swagger lists all factors required for that distance, explaining it can be done.
I think your 5 minutes is up.
Before leaving, Swagger pretends interest in their truck engine and secretly photographs it for intelligence. The mission weighs on Swagger for days, wary after government betrayal. One day he sets up a soup can a mile away and obliterates it with a single shot. Swagger accepts the task, leaves his dog with a neighbor, and flies to 3 cities hosting presidential speeches. He studies each location, calculating the best vantage point. In Baltimore, he immediately recognizes it as the chosen site. Meeting Johnson's team, he shares precise intelligence, pinpointing the shooter's nest. Swagger hands over his findings and Johnson thanks him, but asks him to serve as spotter during the event. On speech day, Swagger joins Johnson's team in a nearby apartment. The city is locked down with FBI agents on every corner and rooftop. Through binoculars, Swagger confirms Johnson's men are stationed at the shooter's perch. Johnson introduces Officer Timmons, who gives Swagger an uneasy feeling, but he continues watching.
The president speaks next.
84.5 minutes available.
All teams stand by.
As the president speaks, a remote-controlled rifle takes aim.
You gotta take him. 10 seconds.
Swagger senses the shot approaching.
Got the steam. What?
Payne rebukes Timmons for missing, while Johnson orders Swagger eliminated. They seize Swagger's rifle from his cabin and stage evidence framing him. Swagger confronts young FBI agent Nick, claims he was framed, and steals Nick's car. Timmons reports the vehicle, tightening the net.
Possible suspect description.
This is Officer Timmons.
Be advised, assassination suspect.
Bleeding, Swagger stops at a car wash, retrieves a first aid kit from the trunk, and treats his wounds. Hearing pursuit updates, he speeds off. Helicopters and patrol cars close in. The FBI recovers the car, but Swagger escapes aboard a passing barge. He hides beneath a bridge to recover before stealing a nearby truck. Meanwhile, reports of his supposed attack sweep across the nation, with Timmons praised as a hero while Nick becomes the Bureau's embarrassment. His supervisor Russ Turner attempts to formally reprimand him for failure, but Nick feels no shame, just relief to be alive after facing someone so lethal. He tries explaining Swagger's claim that he never targeted the president and that Timmons was framed, yet fellow agents only mock him for getting beaten. Swagger stops at a small convenience store, but seeing his face broadcast everywhere, he cuts the building's electricity and uses darkness to gather supplies. He reaches a motel bathroom where he must treat 3 gunshot wounds. Nick, reassigned to desk duty, fields calls when a woman reports a suspicious man buying odd supplies. Nick relays it to Turner, who admits the items suggest a first aid kit, but dismisses it and returns Nick to paperwork. Barely surviving, Swagger drives to Kentucky to Donnie's girlfriend Sarah's house. She recognizes him from Donnie's photos
The president's not dead.
and believes he is innocent since the Archbishop died, confusing Swagger. She hides his truck in her garage and almost calls 911 before hanging up. Swagger apologizes for Donnie's death, wishing he had done more, and Sarah, seeing his frailty, agrees to help by retrieving tools to extract bullets. Meanwhile, Nick reviews footage from the shooting and senses inconsistencies. The next morning, Agent Galindo finds him still investigating. Nick questions how ballistics were available minutes after the attack and how a marksman like Swagger missed so widely. Timmons' account also seems flawed, but Galindo reveals Timmons was murdered days later, deepening suspicion. Swagger instructs a nervous Sarah on removing bullets and stitching him up, knocking himself out with gas. Nick visits the alleged sniper perch, but finds the angle impossible. Following clues, he inspects a nearby church steeple and finds tripod marks. At a cafe, he uncovers information about remote firing systems online. Noticing men watching him, Nick grows wary. Swagger, nearly recovered, vows revenge. Spotting Nick on television sparks an idea. Sarah gives him Donnie's old hunting rifle and agrees to assist. She approaches Nick, providing Johnson's vehicle VIN to lure him along. Swagger surveils their meeting when officers demand identification.
See the guy in the Eagles jacket? Okay, see some ID, please. Asshole!
Nick accesses restricted files, yet finds records encrypted. Galindo reluctantly grants clearance. Johnson's team notices Nick's digging and decides to silence him. Galindo reveals the vehicle links to high officials before masked men abduct Nick, leaving his phone behind. Bound and beaten, Nick faces execution until 2 precise shots kill his captors. Swagger eliminates the last gunman and frees Nick, who pleads for mercy. Realizing he was bait, Nick still suggests surrender.
I don't think you understand. These boys killed my dog.
Shaken, Nick agrees to pursue justice. Johnson learns Nick joined Swagger and sends Pain to Sarah's home. Swagger and Nick visit Tennessee to consult firearms expert Mr. Rade, who explains paper patching can disguise ballistics using a prior test shot. Swagger identifies only one sniper capable of such precision, Mikhailos Šerbedžija. Nick asks Galindo to locate him. Anticipating Swagger's move, Johnson sets a trap using Mikhailo. At home, Sarah hears noises.
Hello?
She blasts one intruder, but Peña overpowers her. Swagger and Nick acquire the sniper's location, knowing it is bait, and prepare countermeasures. They purchase hardware supplies to build remote explosives.
Let's go. Napalm on the first floor.
While Swagger trains Nick in marksmanship. Swagger and Nick post up outside the large ranch, and Swagger takes out a guy that ventures too close to him.
Danger close, 2 o'clock, 50 yards.
He plants explosives along the perimeter when Nick alerts him to another approaching guard. He finishes laying his explosives around the perimeter and kills another lookout. While Michaelois is keeping watch, Swagger ambushes him in his home and demands that he explain why he shot the Archbishop. Michaelo explains that he was approached by Johnson, who recruited him for a secret job like Swagger. He adds that the Archbishop was the true target, as he was about to reveal the secrets of the CIA and FBI on their dealings in Ethiopia. Due to some powerful company wanting to lay an oil pipeline, the CIA had an entire village wiped out, and Swagger's job in Ethiopia was to give cover to the men who carried out the act, and he was not supposed to survive. As they are talking, armed FBI agents begin surrounding the house. And Nick alerts him to their presence.
Swagger, gotta get out of there.
Having revealed the truth, Michaelo decides to end himself, not before revealing that they have Sarah.
Swagger.
The agents rush the house, but Swagger is able to take out the first team. Nick moves to another position and Swagger orders him to blow the pipe bombs and the gas, as he engages the agents in an intense gunfire.
One.
Swagger is making a run for it when a chopper opens fire on them, just like in Ethiopia. So Swagger tells Nick to take cover as he provides cover.
Go!
Agent Russ gets the report of the shooting incident, and the only prints they were able to pull from the scene belonged to Swagger and Nick. Johnson goes to meet with his superior, who turns out to be U.S. Senator Meacham, who scolds Johnson for missing Swagger over and over again, but is determined to kill him. Nick contacts Russ stating that he has Swagger in custody. Russ urges him to turn himself in, but Nick is not sure who he can trust. They track his location and send out their team. Johnson then contacts Swagger directly telling him that he has Sarah, but Swagger also reveals that he recorded his conversation with Michaelo, who implicates Johnson. Johnson proposes a trade and Swagger suggests that Johnson give up Senator Meacham to save his own ass. John and Peña arrive by helicopter in the hills of Montana holding Sarah hostage. Senator Meacham then arrives to join them when they spot a Swagger walking towards them. Suddenly, a shot drops him, fired from a sniper disguised in the snow. Johnson is celebrating when another shot splits the sniper's head open across the snow. The figure they shot stands and turns out to be Nick holding a rifle. 2 shots ring out, and 2 snipers are killed by Swagger, who is hidden in the snow. Peña begins to yell out to Swagger, saying that he has no shot and they will kill Sarah. Swagger composes himself and pulls off a clean shot, shooting Peña's hand off before dropping him and revealing himself. Nick disarms Senator Meacham, and Sarah uses the gun to shoot Peña dead out of anger. Senator Meacham offers Swagger a job, but Swagger refuses, wanting to bring him to justice. Senator Meacham then explains the entire nature of the world and how far up the ladder things go, and Swagger understands and burns the recordings, realizing that it will only get them killed. Meacham leaves just as the FBI begin closing in around them, and Johnson mocks Swagger, saying that they still have his rifle and he will go down for the assassination. The FBI takes everyone into custody and Swagger is brought before the U.S. Attorney General and the FBI. Johnson is present and thinks the meeting is pointless, but the Attorney General puts him in his place. Swagger admits that they matched the bullet to the one that came from his gun, then suddenly loads in a bullet. Swagger aims at Johnson, but the rifle will not fire. Swagger explains that he swaps all his firing pins before leaving the house, and that Johnson is attempting to frame him. Nick shows the U.S. attorney the photos of Johnson's crime in Africa, but since they happened in another country, they cannot arrest him. Having no evidence against him, Swagger is released. A week later, Johnson is meeting with Senator Meacham in a hidden cabin, laughing and gloating over their accomplishments. They are planning another extermination when a body suddenly falls from the roof, and Johnson is shot in the throat and killed instantly. Meacham's car blows up, cutting off his only escape, and he and his assistant are left hiding. Swagger makes his way under the floor and shoots the assistant, then swiftly takes out their guards. Senator Meacham tries to beg for his life, declaring that he is a senator, but gets a bullet between the eyes. Swagger then rigs the place to blow before walking away from the massive explosion, which destroys the house. Thanks for watching. If you had a good time, go ahead and hit that like button, drop a comment, and of course, subscribe for more recaps just like this. And hey, don't click away just yet. YouTube thinks you'll love one of these two videos popping up right here, so check them out next.